Hey everybody, welcome to Moment of Clarity. Obviously, you know that the top general of Iran was assassinated by Trump and his fucking idiot mafia goons. There's a lot the mainstream media isn't telling you. I'm going to go through the top 6 things on this episode, the top 6 things that your mainstream media either isn't telling you or isn't repeating enough. You may catch a glimpse of it here and there, but they really aren't repeating it enough and how important it is. Let's get started. Number 1. Not only did this drone strike, which happened in Iraq, a country where, let's keep in mind, we invaded in 2003 and have killed over 1 million Iraqis. So, yeah, a country that we have a bit of a history of fucking with. This drone strike happens in Iraq, which we consider an ally. Not only kills General Soleimani, the top Iranian general, but also kills top Iraqi military leaders. So, this happened in a allies' country without their approval. In fact, the opposite of their approval. They were outraged, and Trump and the military-industrial complex knew that the Iraqis would be outraged. So it happens in an allies' country, and we kill allied military leaders as a part of this assassination on Soleimani. It's repulsive on several levels. It also, of course, breaks international law. And already the Iraqi parliament has voted to expel all American troops from Iraq. Number 2, the Trump administration, General Pompeo and the like, are claiming that they murdered General Soleimani to stop an imminent attack. This is what we call in the business a lie. Remember, Pompeo loves to lie.
I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. We had entire training courses.
There was no imminent attack. Pompeo has refused to give details. There was no imminent attack on Americans coming. And this was something they wanted to do for months. Pompeo first brought the idea of assassinating Soleimani to Trump months ago. So don't believe the horse shit about some kind of imminent attack that CNN's running with and NPR and all your horse shit networks. And furthermore, as the Gray Zone, as Max Blumenthal, the Gray Zone has detailed, Iraqi Prime Minister Abdul Mahdi has said that actually it was quite the reverse, that Soleimani was meeting with him that day, the day he was murdered, was meeting with the prime minister in order to further a diplomatic dialogue between Iran and Saudi Arabia. So basically, the Iraqi prime minister was acting as the mediator in this dialogue. So Soleimani was in Iraq for peace, to further peace talks with Saudi Arabia. And Trump had actually, this is according to the Iraqi prime minister, had called the prime minister and thanked him for acting as a mediator in this peace dialogue, therefore helping to make Soleimani believe he was going to be safe in traveling to Baghdad. This means the Trump administration killed the top general, the top Iranian general, while he was on peace talks in Iraq. How fucked up is that? Quite the opposite of what Pompeo and Trump are trying to tell you, that there were some kind of imminent attacks. Yeah, imminent attacks. We haven't heard that lie before, right? That's the same lie that was used so that we could invade Iraq, right? WMD, imminent attacks. Oh my God. Orange terror alert, or whatever the top one was, magenta or mauve, or whatever the fuck their terror alert color chart was back when they were pushing that bullshit propaganda. We're doing it all over again. Number 3 on the list of things your mainstream media is either not telling you or hardly telling you in what's going on with this assassination of Soleimani. The media, and even most of the Democrats, are couching all of their statements, even though they're saying, oh, we must de-escalate. Many of the Democrats are saying, oh, this assassination was wrong. They're couching it all in, but General Soleimani was a horrible man, was a bad man. CNBC ran with the headline, we just assassinated the #1 bad guy in the world. But in fact, Iranians and Iraqis view Soleimani as a fucking hero. Many of them as a fucking hero, all right? Apparently, he's the most beloved political figure in all of Iran at the time, if you look at polling and such. And you can tell this is true because millions of people have come out in the morning processionals, the funeral for him, and Iraqis also loved him because guess what? This guy was one of the top generals, top fighters against ISIS, which they call Daesh in that area of the world. He helped stop large swaths of Iran and Iraq and other areas, stop ISIS from taking them over, from ruling over them. He was beloved for that, for the fight against ISIS, which we, the Americans, claimed to also be fighting ISIS. But now we just assassinated the top guy who fought and succeeded against ISIS. You know the number one thing you can do to unite large swaths of millions of people, of Iranians and Iraqis, unite them against America, is kill, assassinate in cold blood one of their top heroes, one of their top military men that they view as having protected them. Trump has really done a great job uniting much of that part of the world against America. That brings us to number 4. This is not making us safer. This is not making America safer, all right? If you want to make, instead it's doing the exact opposite, right? America is now going to be a number 1 target, maybe we were before, but it's going to make it even worse, number 1 target of many attacks because of what we're proving, that we will violate international law, will kill countries, top generals that we aren't even at war with. I know you may have heard all the propaganda about Iran and Iran's dangerous and all that bullshit, but that doesn't mean we're at war with them. We haven't declared any war against Iran. Yes, Trump pulled out a nuclear deal, but we didn't declare a war with Iran, so we're willing to break international law in an allies country, kill some of our allies, and kill generals of countries that we aren't at war with. That just makes us less safe. If you want to make Americans safe, and I've said this before, deliver clean water to the entire world. All right? Deliver food to everyone starving around the world. And I know that sounds like a big undertaking, but guess what? According to the UN, it would take $30 billion to end world hunger for the year. And according to the New York Times, you adjust for today's dollars, this was back in 2000, but you adjust for today's dollars, it would take 5 or 6 days of the Pentagon's budget to give the world clean water for a year. 5 or 6 days. We could do it easily. And guess what? We would then be the safest country in the world because we'd be the fucking water people that gave everyone goddamn water. If you want to make people safe, you don't fucking bomb their heroic generals into impact craters. No, you bring them food and water, and we don't do that. Number 5, Trump is just escalating a form of disgusting, repulsive U.S. imperialism that has been going on for decades. He is not the originator of it. He has merely ramped it up to a level that in certain ways we haven't seen before. It's more blatant than we've seen before. It all went on under Obama. It went on under Bush. Where do you think the torture, the fucking assassination bombing, all of that went on? In fact, we even have an example of a former president bombing Iraq to deflect from impeachment. And that happened under Clinton. Clinton was being impeached. He bombed Iraq. This is nothing new. It's just that Trump has escalated it to a repulsive level, which it should have been before. He should have been repulsed before. But Trump was able to do this because of everything that came before him. He didn't originate out of a void. He was able to do this because Obama was assassinating people with drone bombs, because Obama allowed the largest surveillance infrastructure ever created, the largest prison state ever created, because Obama deported more immigrants than ever before. Trump is allowed to do these things because we have ramped up over decades to this point. He is what a failed system vomits up at the end of its empire. Is a Donald Trump. And finally, number 6, do not fall for the fucking propaganda that is going across your mainstream media right now. Many of us, including me, fell for the WMD lie when it was first originated. Many of us fell for the lies about Gaddafi and Libya. Many Americans fell for the lies about chemical attacks in Syria, which now we've had whistleblowers and WikiLeaks have proven were obviously false. Many of us have fallen for these propaganda lies again and again and again. Do not fall for them right now on Iran. In fact, they're not even using a new playbook. The lies are the same. Imminent attack, imminent attack. Have you heard that one before? The idea that the Iranians are the aggressors on this is bullshit. Okay? We are the aggressors. We pulled out of the nuclear deal. We are bombing their generals.